Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Scorpio is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Yeah, Two of Swords. Kind of almost a crossroads, I guess. It kind of seems like there might be a fork in the road coming for you. I wonder if you've kind of been on a very similar path, right? If you've been on kind of a steady course for a long time. I feel like we've been staying in our lane a lot lately, you know? Kind of feel as if this is a welcomed detour coming. A welcomed, like we're being rerouted a little bit. You know, it's the fork in the road that we're kind of like, oh, finally, finally a turn, We avoid that highway hypnosis, right? We're just kind of going straight and flat for a long time. It's nice when there's we get to maneuver a little bit. So I think there's something like that coming for you. And I think we're ready for it. I think that, not that you've been getting bored, not that you've been losing interest or anything, but just that we want to be present. We want something that's going to engage us in life right now. Okay, so I think that you're ready for something. You're ready to engage. You're ready for almost the challenge, right? You're ready for something to kind of do, something to apply yourself to. You have skills. You have talents. You're good at stuff. You've got energy. We want something to do. Because maybe it's a little bit of that highway hypnosis. We've just been on the same path for a long time that it kind of is like the days start going by, things start feeling very routine. We're looking now for, that split in the road that's like, aha, I get to make a decision, right? Things can get a little too easy sometimes or too smooth, right? Well, let's see what's going on with this too. Let's see if there is a crossroads, if there is maybe a choice that's coming for us or... Princess of Cups. Well, that's the fish in the percolator, right? That is kind of the, it's like you're driving, you've got this highway hypnosis, suddenly you see this thing on the road that really shouldn't be there. Like you kind of see like it's just this Sasquatch jumping across the freeway or something. It really is like it snaps us out of it, right? This is that anomaly. This is that thing in your environment that really shouldn't be there. So yeah, darn right it gets your attention, And it's kind of like the white rabbit and the waistcoat and the pocket watch, We better follow it, right? There's a reason why you're seeing this now. And I kind of feel like this might be a sign, a synchronicity, something from spirit, It's kind of like we're driving and our eyes are heavy and we got that highway hypnosis going on. And suddenly there's just this flashing neon sign and it wakes us up. Well, I better go see what that is, I feel like this is, going to be good. I feel like this is some kind of a lucky break, right? And so-called luck. I think it's lucky that we saw it, And I feel as if, you're kind of ready for this. You're ready for some sort of adventure. You're ready for the next part of the path. You're ready to kind of change to a different road, switch freeways or whatever, right? We're ready for that. We're ready to take some sort of intent to be needed for something, or you know what I mean? And so I feel like you're getting that. I feel like this is kind of that moment now where something really special happens. I feel like there's some really happy news here. Let's keep going. The Eight of Pentacles. It might be kind of, unexpected. And kind of unexpected in the sense of it might not look like much, but this is really going to be something spectacular, right? And so we learn not to judge a book by its cover. And we think, well, that tree is kind of shabby. I don't know if I really want that, But once you taste the fruit, then it's like, oh my God, I can't believe I was going to pass this one by, right? And so it might not be something like a neon sign. It might just be this really just kind of dilapidated, crumbling, rotting wood billboard sign that says, come get a slice of pie or something. But there's something in you that says, I better go follow that. I better see what that is, right? And you might get there and it might just be a little shack, but it's got the absolute best food in it, So we have to appreciate the subtle, and we have to not have this kind of personal bias where it says, well, that's something it doesn't look like much. There can't be anything good in there, because then we're going to miss it. And that's just, well, okay, that miracle there is not for you, right? But I think you're keen enough and ready enough and hungry enough to say, I'm going to go see what's in that little shack. And I believe it's going to be a miracle, right? I believe that this is going to put you in the right place at the right time. Okay? So follow those subtle signs and symbols and synchronicities, but especially if it doesn't really sync with what you want to see. Or if it's coming, if you're getting this really great news, but it's coming from a person that you really don't like, right? Then you're just I'm not even listening. No, you should listen, okay? Because I feel like this is a miracle in a very humble outfit, very humble disguise, and to me it feels really, really good. Four of Pentacles. Again, that's kind of the routine of life. We're in this highway hypnosis. And sometimes we just want to stay there. And so it's like, I'm comfortable here. Unless it's a really, really amazing thing I see on the side of the road, I just want to keep driving straight. Okay? And so I think that you've made a lot of progress. You've covered a lot of ground in your life. Okay? But I feel like you're getting hungry. Yeah. And I kind of feel like that Two of Swords is me saying, oh, I'm kind of hungry. Maybe do I want to get off the freeway and go look for something, right? And of course, you see that kind of strange thing. There's that little something that maybe it sparkles a little bit more than something else does, or it just looks out of place, or it just catches your eye for whatever reason. You don't know exactly what's going to be there, but when you get there, I think we have to ask ourselves that question then, am I gonna take this? Am I going to accept what's being offered here? Am I gonna eat this food? Is this gonna be nourishing me? And if I take advantage of this, now maybe it's an opportunity, maybe it's a business thing, maybe it's a friendship, maybe it's an acquaintance, maybe it's a romantic kind of thing. We have to ask ourselves, if I accept this, who am I gonna become? Right? Because everything we do is nourishing us. Everything we engage with is food in some way, whether physical, bodily food, mental, emotional, spiritual, creative food. We have to ask ourselves what we're consuming. Okay? And I think when we get here, and the package might not be that pretty, but what's inside is going to be, I think, really a miracle for you. Really, truly a kind of a very miraculous, very marvelous thing. Okay. But we have to really, the first thing I think is to recognize that we are a little bit hungry. We think of the Four of Pentacles, we think of somebody who is in this routine, in this just steady kind of pace, and just thinking, I'm not going to pull over. It's got to be really a really amazing dinner over there for me to get off this freeway. Or I have to be really, really, really hungry if I'm going to leave this road, And so this is somebody that's kind of just going to stay in their car. This is somebody that's staying in their safe routine. It's isolating, right? Saying, well, I'm not going to go outside unless there's a really good reason for me to go outside. Well, I think seeing that white rabbit in the waistcoat and the pocket watch, that's a pretty good reason. may not look like much. It may just be, kind of weird. But it kind of draws you in. And it's almost like your curiosity with that Princess of Cups. It's kind of saying, I just want to find out what it is. Like in Twin Peaks, the fish in the percolator. You kind of want to ask how to get in there. What is it doing in there? And obviously there's a causal explanation, but it doesn't take away from the synchronicity, right? I think that's very important, right? Because it'd be something very reasonable. Any of your rationalist friends can come along and say, well, yeah, obviously the fish got there because he's a fisherman and probably he was cutting fish or something, or there was like water and then, I don't know, it just got scooped up or it swam in there, whatever. It got in there somehow. It's not a miracle, right? But it can be, It depends on how we choose to look at it. And our rational mind will find a reason to make sense of it, find a reason for everything, right? It makes sense of anything. But we can look at it a different way. We got a Four of Swords. Four of Swords in some ways is saying that we quiet down our rational mind. That I'm choosing not to find a rational explanation for things. I want to just believe in miracles. I want to believe in luck. I want to feel that this is a meaningful coincidence that has led me to pull off the freeway and go to this little tiny, shabby little shack diner on the side of the road and have a meal. Is that the meal that's going to change my life? Am I going to meet somebody there that really is going to change the course of history for me? So the Four of Swords is the rational mind saying, they probably don't have very good food. I'm going to keep driving until I see, a chain restaurant or something that I can recognize. We've got to overcome this rational mind. I think that's what the Four of Swords is. Choosing not to listen all the time. We don't always have to be rational, logical thinkers. Okay? Sometimes I can say, yeah, mind, I hear you. You're probably right, but I'm going to go do it anyway. Because I'm curious, because I feel something here. Kind of trying to be led by the heart, and that's what the Princess of Cups is. That's the water energy. We've got the air energy, and it's kind of like we're saying, okay, mind, I hear you, but I'm going to follow my heart here. I'm going to follow that white rabbit, and we go directly to that partnership. Now, the adjustment card, to me, is about a very productive, very lucrative, very prosperous partnership. I kind of feel like this is the making the right connection. So following your instinct, your intuition, following that white rabbit is leading you to make a connection with someone or something that is intensely meaningful for you, that I think is going to change the course of your life. And this kind of feels like one of those prophecies, that you are you're choosing to follow something other than the kind of logical, step-by-step, orderly, rational flow of life. You're choosing to get off the highway here and go on this little side road because you feel something about it. You feel there's something there, right? And it's leading you to this opportunity. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time. That you would have had no way to know, right? So to me, that feels very auspicious, okay? Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here. We're going to put Kevin, aka Mr. Bates, right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, all right? But it will tie everything together and give us our confirmation. If you have a prediction for that card, put it in the comments. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost anything. And it helps out the channel, and that is really appreciated. I really do thank you for that. General energy now. Path of the Serpent. Let's see what is going on here. Chariot card. The Chariot is this whole idea of, of course we're going to get the Chariot, right? We're using this kind of being on the highway kind of analogy. And then we get the Chariot card. So the Chariot card has this kind of devotion, and it could be a devotion, a commitment, an obligation to staying the course. We have a responsibility toward our kingdom, and this is, it makes sense to kind of stay in our lane, stay on the tried and true course, right? But the Chariot card is kind of, it's beholden to a higher power, right? It is dedicated and committed and devoted, not necessarily to logic and rational thinking and causal chain events, but to purpose, meaning, destiny, to fate, to that quest for the Holy Grail, right? This is a Cancer energy. It's a water energy. It's an emotional thing. It's saying that it's almost kind of saying, mind, I don't answer to you, right? And maybe that's something that's kind of comes as a bit of a shock to our logical thinking, like, oh gosh, what? What did I just say? Maybe you're somebody that typically kind of follows the natural order of things, the rational thinking, the logic, And so maybe following your heart is kind of a new thing, and it's different. But I think the Chariot is us realizing what we are devoted or committed or beholden to. Yeah. What is the highest authority for you? What are you really, really devoted to? We think of a knight on a chariot defending the kingdom. Who do you answer to? What are you defending? Who are you fighting for? Right? And so, this is an answer. It's a rhetorical question, but it's something you can think about on your own, because this is, depending on our answer, this gives us a little bit more freedom of where we can go, how we can explore, what our duties really are in life. Is it what highway are you on? Why are you going in that direction? What is your destination? Right? And does that goal, does that destination, does that purpose trump everything else? Or is there something deeper, higher, more sacred, more true, more authentic that you are driving toward, that you are pursuing? A deeper sense of purpose that would allow for some side adventures, that would allow for you getting off the freeway to go explore over here, right? Well, let's see what the next card is, position of the environment. Oh, 9 of Cups. Oh, see? It's a good thing we took this little side trip, right? This is the connection that's leading you to a more happy, more fulfilling, more abundant, super abundant life. That is wild. That's a wild, wild. This is really, really happy news. It may not be what you thought you were hungry for. Follow your instinct. Follow your heart here. Follow that white rabbit with the waistcoat and the pocket watch. Because whatever this 8 of Pentacles is doesn't look like much, but it really is going to be nourishing you. Physically, financially, mentally, emotional, spiritual, creative. It is super abundance. Okay? And your mission in life is not to go from point A to point B, 4 of Pentacles. Your mission in life is to find the deeper meaning, the deeper satisfaction, the deeper truth, the authenticity, the deeper richness and satisfaction of life. Right? Which means sometimes we got to follow our heart. It's very obvious to follow our mind. Yes, you go from point A to point B, and then B to C, C to D, and it's very obvious. It shouldn't be difficult to follow, right? That's not the point. You're following something else. You're following that intuition, right? The obstacle here, the High Priest, the obstacle is for you is to follow your intuition. Exactly what I said. I don't think it's easy for you to get off of this very specific lane that you're in, but that's exactly what you're going to be doing. It's leading you to make a connection in a very unexpected and unlikely place. An unlikely connection in an unlikely place leading you to superabundance. This is a rare prophecy, and this is a wild victory for you, Scorpio. But you've got to trust your intuition, High Priestess, and 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups is kind of, in a way, showing that things are changing. Okay? And at first, when we get off of this, out of this lane, when we get off of this particular path here, the familiar roads. Sometimes it can start off as a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of kind of almost this fear or nervousness, right? That, oh my gosh, I just left something that was very steady, very stable for something kind of unknown, mysterious, more ethereal, right? And so we get that Five of Cups. It's the fluctuating emotions. It's kind of it's a mixed bag of feelings there, and that's exactly what we would expect. Okay, but with all the fours, of course, we need a 5. We've got to shake things up, and the Five of Cups is almost a card that says, I'd rather feel a little bit of discomfort than nothing at all, right? And so if we're on that, if we have that highway hypnosis, if we got the Four of Pentacles, right? We're not really feeling anything. We're just, it's straight, it's narrow, it's smooth, it's just kind of very specific, not really feeling much. I'd rather get some bumps in the road. I'd rather have a little, a couple of tree branches in the road and I got to move out of the way. Something, right? Something to do. Something that makes me like get some feeling back in my hands that I can turn the wheel and stuff, right? A reason to hit the gas or the brake or something different, right? Some sort of change. In life, in general, I think, we're not really aware of our movement, unless there's some change in movement. When you're going a certain speed on the freeway, it doesn't really feel like you're moving. It's the bumps in the road. It's the slowing down and speeding up that reminds us that we're moving. So change, right? A disturbance in the constant makes us feel something, And so I think that's the first step, that Five of Cups. So be ready. The Five of Cups, don't let it deter you from this. The Five of Cups is just your body, your heart, and your mind waking up and remembering that it's in motion. Okay? You keep going past that Nine of Cups. This is what it's all about, and this is out there. And this is where this strange path is leading you. Let's look at the mystery card. I apologize if you can hear the lawnmower outside the studio today. And maybe it's just me, but the quieter I make the studio, the more I can kind of hear everything. It's strange, kind of. And I don't know if you heard the knocking a few minutes ago, too. I don't know what that was. Maybe that's my white rabbit. I should go find out. But let's look at the mystery card first. I mean, what do we need? 9 or a 10 of Pentacles would be great. The Death card for you, Scorpio, your superpower card. I'd like to ring the bell today. It'd be fun. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's take a look. I have my couple of guesses, and we'll see. Oh, a 2 of Cups. Oh my gosh, that's good. Because that's that chance encounter. That's that one-on-one. It doesn't have to be romantic. It is a card called love. But it really is the idea. I mean, this is it almost seems perfectly logical when we look at it this way, and I think that you can appreciate that. We're distracted by something on the side of the road or a little road sign or something. So we take the exit and we follow it. And it leads us to a place that we really doesn't look like what we want. It doesn't look like a place I would enjoy. But we go there anyway because we feel something. We feel drawn to it. And in that place, we meet something or someone, right? And that's kind of the 2 of Cups. We have that meeting with something or someone that gives us the courage to realize our higher aspirations, our higher goals, our larger journey, right? That's going to take us to super abundance and absolute fulfillment, right? And the 2 of Cups is all about love. It's the glue that holds everything together. The 2 of Cups really is what the Chariot is devoted to, that highest expression of love. And love that is manifesting as romantic love, sure. Spiritual love, divine love, self-love. It's agape and eros, right? It is platonic love, It's the connection, the commitment to that deeper purpose. And so it could be any kind of number of things, but I feel like this is a meeting. This is an encounter with someone. I feel like there's a person there. right? I feel when you follow this path and you follow that white rabbit, leading you to meeting that person, that either just through that interaction or kind of partnering up, teaming up with that person, or starting a relationship or a friendship or whatever, is going to change the course of your life. It's going to make you realize what you really want, what you're really hungry for in life, and what your purpose really is. It's that very simple, that one time I decided to go eat at that little diner on the side of the road, my life was never the same since. And to think it's such an insignificant thing, because how many of those little weird places do we just pass and we don't even notice that they're there? This is the one that you do notice. Now, I don't know if it's going to be a diner. I'm just saying that because I'm hungry. It could be anything. But we have to follow our instinct. It's going to take us out of our lane. Don't get scared of that. It's going to feel weird at first. 5 of Cups. Okay. This is really so good. I'm so excited. I hope you'll leave some comments and let me know how this goes for you. We're going to do an extended reading. The link is up top or down below. New readings for Scorpio every Wednesday and Saturday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's free, doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from, especially if you're a new viewer. I want to thank you for joining me here today, and I hope you'll leave me a comment. Hope you'll subscribe. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you, and we're all in this together.